Hey, welcome back. It's Terrific Tuesday indeed on Liquid Lunch. I'm John Tobacco. And when you're having a terrific Tuesday, you want to kick it off the right way. Who do you bring in the leadoff spot? A cabbie? No. A comic? No. An activist? No. A radio talk show host? No. You bring in Johnny McDonough, who's all of that in one package, and we can cover the whole gamut of things when John McDonough joins us. And to boot, he's a comic, so he's quite funny, and he's an Army veteran. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks.
How are you?
Good. That was a better introduction than last time.
Was it? Last time?
Well, you said, here we have the cab driver who drove the drug addict Randy Credico to Penn Station to testify against Roger Stone.
Both true. All facts. All right, well, now we made friends after the last time, and I gave you a better intro. Frank wrote it up here. Say exactly this, so I just made like I knew it, but I was really reading it. So what are we talking about today other than impeachment?
Well, I wanted to
You got to have a few thoughts on impeachment.
Well, yes, and it's just
Many people are saying it's a witch hunt.
Well, it's not only a witch hunt, particularly what's going on now on the left, where MSNBC and CNN are hiring ex-CIA agents and FBI agents to testify and not criticizing them. The left used to criticize the FBI. Now we can criticize the church, we can criticize governments, the Turkish government about Armenia, but God forbid you criticize the FBI and the CIA who specialize in overthrowing governments. You think they might want to bring up to the CIA guys coming in, hey, how did that go in Central America? How did that go in South America when we overthrow those governments? And the other problem I have is that the FBI and the CIA get to keep their security clearances. So why is that? Your father was on the job, NYPD. Right. My sister, when they turned in their badge and gun, they didn't go to ComStat meetings a month or two from now and start commenting about
They didn't leave them the key to the evidence locker.
But why is it? If you don't mind, sign off on this FISA warrant. Yeah. He retired 7 years ago.
Oh, and then what he said about the FISA warrant, he goes, they're very difficult to get. It's 99.5%. Over the last 20 years, they've gotten FISA warrants.
Yeah, sure, because they make stuff up. They leave out exculpatory evidence. If anything pops up that is exculpatory, they forge it, change it, and they slip it in anyway. And nobody's been looking. Most Americans probably never even heard FISA. Okay? They probably didn't even know these things existed, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. No one knows about this stuff.
Well, the only people that know anything, if you're an activist, particularly if you were involved, like you could say Martin Luther King, what they did to him, the Black Panthers, the Young Lords, even within the Irish American community with the Irish Republican movement. I mean, this has been going on for 20 years, and they are the deep state because they pick and choose politically who they want to go after. They're certainly not going after the Cubans down in Miami. We had the Bay of Pigs. We had them flying planes over Cuba. That's all right. As a matter of fact, we'll arm them. And did I vote for that? No. But the FBI and the CIA pick and choose what they want to do.
Right. So, talking about the fish rotten from the head down, James Comey went out there and talked about this a little in the open, talking about for the last couple of years that we were well within our bounds and going for the FISA warrants, and we had all this evidence and blah, 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 blah. Take a look at what he said just this weekend on Fox News.
I was wrong. 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 I was wrong.
Kind of admitted to a lot of wrongs there in like one shot. I mean, Chris Wallace did a heck of a job.
If you were wrong and did what he did, you'd be in jail now.
I
mean, 17 times we made a mistake. Martha Stewart, how many times did she make a mistake and end up in jail?
Once.
Yeah, if John makes a mistake paying his taxes, we'll see if the government says forgiving.
You just say you made a mistake.
I made a million mistakes.
We briefly mentioned last time you were on, when you were featured on the CBS Sunday Morning Show as part of this exhibit profiling veterans throughout the country. And you're actually a painting now. Can we see this? And you're actually quite a nice-looking painting as a person.
Yeah.
So that's you.
Yeah, that's me driving the cab. I represent New York as a cab driver. And as someone said at the gallery...
So this artist did all 50 states?
She did a veteran from each state. And what one person looking at it, she says, I could hear the noise coming out of that painting of New York City.
That's beautiful.
The busyness of it and everything like
What's
that.
What's the artist's
name? Mary Wyeth.
Mary Wyeth. And they actually, not only did CBS Sunday Morning have you on, not only did we have you on, but the Daily News, not known for their promotion of the arts, they actually did a whole feature on you as being part of this.
But
this
it
art
was a
exhibit.
veterans angle. They were doing a thing because of Veterans Day was the following day. That came out that Sunday. And, it was a nice article. But listen, what's not to like? It was a veteran from every state. It's now going to go on tour of the United States. They're going to bring all 50 paintings. Some of the veterans are dead now because this project started 10 years ago. And she did people from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and leading up to Iraq. So, look for it at an art gallery near you.
Yeah, John, John and I both take Uber from time to time. You know why? One, because it's less expensive. Two, because in the days of your people, the yellow cabs, when you get in a yellow cab after a long night especially, and tell them, oh yeah, take me to the South Shore of Staten Island, they would throw you out of their cab. Now we get to go wherever we want cheaply. What's the problem with Uber?
There is no problem with Uber. It's the new technology. The problem was with the yellow cab industry. We did not keep up with the new technology. I went to the hearings at City Hall, and there was one guy that got up from a garage, and he said, well, that might work in San Francisco or London, but we're a street hail town, and that new technology is not going to work here in New York City. And what it was God sent for Uber, and this was a problem that black people were not being picked up by yellow cabs. And I have witnessed this myself in the 80s and 90s. An African American would be standing on the corner and would actually have to go like this and hold up a $20 bill to the yellow cab coming by to prove that they had money. The humiliation that they had to suffer because yellow cabs were going by people, that doesn't happen now. You hit a button on Uber, they have to pick you up, and they have to take you where you go.
Well, two things I want to tell you. One, some of these guys are getting cute. They call you, and they go, hey, what corner are you on? And then they go, where you going? They ask you.
Yeah, they're not supposed
you don't
to.
answer that, right?
Yes,
okay,
you're
number
not
one.
supposed to. Just
number
get
two,
in there.
the other day I was in Midtown. It was a little rainy out. I looked at the Uber. We were leaving the Newsmax Christmas party to come back downtown. It was $75 to go from 50th Street to downtown. $75 at 5:30. I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna hail yellow and see what the yellow winds up costing me. $34.
Nice,
I paid in the yellow. So
you know what another
why
scam?
isn't Consumer Affairs and Better Business looking at Uber for gouging when you could get in a yellow for $34? Is it really worth double the price, or they just know it's surge?
So this is they did this on the Daily Show with you, right?
Yeah, well, on the Daily Show, I said the only hope that we have now is I needed a priest on the Lower East Side to come down and bless the cab. So I had a friend of mine, Father Pat Maloney, come out of his building down on 9th Street, and I said, Father Pat, you got to do something because the apps are not working for the yellow cab. So Father Pat came out of his
as
house.
we go to break, let's take a look at this blessing on the Daily Show.
Pat, let's go. There's a medallion, if you can bless it.
Me. Bless me. You can bless me.
Son, Holy Spirit.
Ooh.
Amen.
Ooh.